Welcome everyone to my garden. Today I'm going to show you how I use sawdust and bark to create a low maintenance garden that needs very little watering and very little weeding. In this video we'll take a patch of land that's nothing but weeds and brush, turn it into a productive low maintenance garden. I'm going to show you how I turn something like this, which is nothing but brush and weeds, into something more like this. The first thing we need to do is chop down all the weeds and unwanted vegetation. To do that, you could use a mower, a weed whacker, you could use pruning shears if that's all you have. Whatever your favorite tool is. Today I'll be using a chainsaw. If the soil was compacted, it had been driven on, walked on a lot, I would probably till the whole thing. But I'm going to leave most of it natural, and I'm only going to till up a few spots where I'm going to plant. Since I'm only doing small areas, a shovel will do just fine. I'm going to mix in some wood ashes. Some people will say don't use wood ashes, they'll turn your soil alkaline. But I have enough acidic things here, I don't think being alkaline is going to be a problem. The wood ash provides potassium, phosphorus, calcium, a lot of other minerals. I use it, it works fine. Now in this freshly tilled spot, we'll plant a couple seeds. These are butternut squash seeds. I just do 2 per spot. I'm going to give these a little water. There's no rain in sight. It's supposed to be 106 degrees tomorrow. So I'll put a cover over these to keep the soil from drying out. After a few days, I'll start checking these every day. When the seeds start to germinate, then take the cover off so they can get sun. Now I'll move over to the next spot, do the same thing. I'll come back and water these occasionally to keep the soil from drying out. Now we'll move on to the next spot. Then the next spot, now I got 4 spots planted. Bird drama. Now I got 4 spots planted. I have 4 spots planted. Butternut squash spreads a lot. It'll take over this whole area. Now to get some organic material. I use waste from my sawmill because that's what I have an abundance of. I spread this material about 8 inches to a foot deep. I covered up all of the brush and the weeds that we cut. I just left them in place. They'll rot, they'll add to the soil, add nutrients to the soil. All of this wood will smother out most of the weeds. There will be some of the more woody plants that will find their way up through it, but the sprouts that come up, they're always tender, they're easy to pull up. After pulling them up a few times, they lose all their energy and then they die. Some people like to put down cardboard first to smother the weeds, but with this material, I just haven't found it to be necessary. I used to use wood chips, but I found that they don't hold moisture that well, at least not the ones that I had access to. This very fine sawdust, I find it holds moisture exceptionally well, much better than the wood chips ever did. I planted 6 spots here. Butternut squash spreads a lot. They should be covering this whole area with green squash leaves. Right here and over here are the ones I planted a couple weeks ago. Here's what they look like. I just spread the wood around them. You have to be careful not to bury them, of course. It can be a lot of work initially to put all this material down, but once it's down, you can have years of maintenance-free garden. I'll be doing an update video later on after these plants grow up to show you what kind of results I got. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that. Give me a like if you would, and I'll see you on the next video.